To get the ties on the mask, open up a strip, find the center crease, and then place the mask, raw edges even, right smack dab in the middle. I usually backstitch at this point when I begin, and then also when I get to the end of the mask. And my pins have stayed in all this time. Not a one has fallen out, which I find extremely handy. And here's the last back stitch. Then I have to take it out of the machine. And now comes the fun part, which a lot of people, I guess, are afraid of. Basically, all you need to do is take and fold over by about 1/4 of an inch the two raw edges until they hit the middle of the strip. It's very helpful to anchor it with a back stitch, and you'll see I have an ender, or leader ender, whatever you want to call it, and I'm needle down position at this point. And then I also do the same thing again. Bring the raw edges to the middle, fold it, turn it to the left. My index finger sweeps across that opening and it pushes the raw edges in where they need to be. I turn the wrist of my right hand, and that can also help in aligning the edges. Most importantly, I really don't care if the edges are perfectly aligned. It's actually a little bit easier for me if the one on top, the fold on top, doesn't quite meet the fold on the bottom. That way I can see both folds at the same time. I'm going to top stitch along the fold that's on top. I know I'm going to catch all the layers that need to be caught. It takes a little bit of practice, but don't give up. It really goes so much faster than having to iron these things. When you get to the mask itself, it just becomes part of the same binding step you've done over and over again. You want to make sure that the top fabric does fold over the stitching used to attach it to the mask in the first place, because it looks nice. And we really don't care what happens on the back of the mask. You're working on the front at this point. I do back stitch at the beginning and again, because I think these ties are going to get a lot of use. Some people may wonder if it has to be exactly meeting in the middle when you turn those left and right edges to the center. Not really. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It doesn't matter. I also don't care exactly how wide the finished tie is. That's just not a concern. I do like folding it over. It's helpful for me to use the edge of the sewing machine table to do that. And any adjusting is really done with the left index finger and the right wrist. I sew all the way up until I'm going to basically hit my finger there, and then I start over again. I find if I back up my hands and do a longer section and try and fold those together, I mess up. So keep it short, do as much as you want, go slow, it's not a race, and it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as the raw edges don't come out and you've hit both sides of that fabric, both of those folds, it's going to be just fine. And then you end the same way you began, tightening up on those salvage edges. No folds are needed if those are still intact. And then you want to backstitch at the very end. Give it a try.